Welcome to my channel. Listen to my stories every day. Comment, like and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy listening. The morning air hung heavy with the usual office banter, but today something was off. My co-workers, usually a tight-knit circle of casual jokes and shared coffees, had circles of whispers, their eyes darting towards me with a mix of pity and discomfort. I settled into my cubicle, the flickering light from my monitor a stark contrast to the dim glow of suspicion around me. "Hey, Jeff," I greeted my desk neighbor, my voice steady despite the churn in my stomach. "Anything interesting happen over the weekend?" Jeff hesitated, his fingers pausing mid-air above his keyboard. Yeah, just the usual, you know. Kid's soccer game." A bit of gardening his words stumbled, not quite fitting into the groove of our usual easy chatter. The printer whirred to life, and as I stood to collect the papers, another colleague, Mark, joined us by the machine, his phone in hand. Mark was the gossip king of our floor, always armed with the latest office scandal. Today, however, his usual grin was tinged with unease. "Tom, you might want to see this," Mark whispered, leaning closer, his phone screen a beacon of unwanted news. On it, a photo my wife, Laura, unmistakably perched on someone's lap, her arms wrapped around him, her lips pressed to his in a fervent kiss. The man was none other than my boss, Mr. Daniels. The ground beneath me might as well have crumbled away. When was this? My voice was a hollow mask of calm. "Saturday night." "At the Green Mill," Mark murmured, his usual revelry absent. "I'm sorry, man." I stared at the image, the betrayal slicing through me, but I pushed the searing pain down, locking it away. "Thanks for letting me know," I said, my tone even, almost indifferent. I turned away, the papers in my hand crumpled by my tightening grip. Back at my desk, the usual clacking of keyboards and ringing phones felt distant. My mind raced, plotting, planning. I wasn't just going to confront Laura and Mr. Daniels. No, that would be too simple, too quick. This betrayal demanded more, a meticulous, calculated revenge that would match the depth of their deceit. Throughout the day, I acted the part of the unsuspecting husband, nodding along to conversations, smiling when expected. But inside, a plan began to take shape. I would need evidence, allies, in a perfect moment. My revenge would not be a mere outburst, it would be a spectacle, a masterstroke that would leave them reeling. As I left the office that evening, the last rays of sunlight dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the parking lot. The darkness felt fitting. After all, I was about to embark on a path that was anything but illuminated. And so, with each step I took, the wheels of retribution began to turn, slow yet unstoppable. The night ahead was long, and my resolve was only just beginning to burn. The clock struck 6 as I pulled into the driveway of my home, the scene of the unknown betrayal. Laura's car was already parked, a beacon of normalcy in the twilight. Stepping inside, I plastered on a smile, the mask of the loving husband unshaken. "Hey, honey," Laura's voice floated from the kitchen, light and carefree. "You're just in time for dinner." The aroma of roasted chicken filled the air, a stark contrast to the cold fury within me. "Smells great," I replied, keeping my voice steady as I hung up my coat and joined her. Laura looked radiant, humming a tune as she set the table. Her happiness, now tainted in my eyes, only fueled the fire simmering in my heart. "How was your day?" she asked, flashing me a smile as she passed the salad. Same old, same old." "How about yours?" My eyes searched hers, looking for any flicker of guilt, any sign of the secret she harbored. "Oh, just errands and meeting up with Janet for lunch," she said with a shrug, brushing off the details. Janet, her best friend and occasional confidante, was clueless about Laura's duplicity, or so I hoped. Dinner passed with trivial chatter, my thoughts racing. Afterwards I excused myself, claiming a headache and a need for an early night. In reality, I retreated to my home office, a war room of sorts, and opened my laptop. First, I needed allies. I dialed Rick, a trusted colleague who also despised Mr. Daniels for his ruthless business tactics. The phone rang twice before he picked up. "Tom? Everything okay?" "Rick, I need your help with something sensitive." "Are you alone?" Yeah, of course." What's up? I laid out everything, from the photo to my plan for revenge. Rick was silent for a moment before responding, his voice low and serious. I'm in. Daniels has crossed the line one too many times. What do you need? Information. Anything on his dealings, mistakes, dirty secrets. And keep your eyes open. I need to know who else might be on his side. Got it, Rick affirmed. I'll start digging. Next, I contacted a private investigator, someone recommended by a distant acquaintance for being discreet and effective. Mr. Shaw, I began when the PI answered. I have a job for you. It involves surveillance and gathering evidence. Are you available? Depends on the details, but I'm listening, came the cautious reply. I explained what I needed without revealing too much personal anger. I want to know everywhere my boss goes, everyone he talks to, everything he does. I can handle that. I'll need some details and upfront payment, but you'll have your information, Mr. Shaw assured me. Perfect. I'll send everything over tonight, I concluded, feeling a step closer to my goal. As I closed my laptop, the house quiet around me, I felt the weight of the path I had chosen. It was a road paved with shadows and whispers, but I was too far gone to turn back now. The stage was set, the players aligning, and soon the act would commence. The night deepened around me, echoing the dark journey ahead. The early morning sun barely hints at the bustle to come as I meet Rick outside a nondescript coffee shop downtown. Inside, the smell of freshly ground coffee beans fills the air, a stark contrast to the bitter tang of deceit that seems to shadow my every step these days. Rick slides a manila envelope across the table toward me, his expression grim. Found something you might want to see. It's not pretty. I open the envelope discreetly, my eyes scanning the contents. Inside are email printouts and a few grainy photos, evidence of shady deals and under-the-table agreements involving Mr. Daniels. My heart pounds not just with the rush of impending confrontation, but with the weight of carrying such explosive information. Where did you get this? I whisper, looking up at Rick. Let's just say, not everyone in the office is as loyal to Daniels as he thinks, Rick replies, sipping his coffee. His smirk tells me he enjoys the subterfuge more than he probably should. I nod, folding the documents back into the envelope. This is good, Rick. Really good. We're just getting started, Tom. Anything else you need? Deep digging. Anything that connects Daniels directly to financial misconduct could be crucial. Rick nods, a silent agreement sealed between us as he stands to leave. Will do. Be careful, Tom. Back at home, I spread out the gathered intel on my study desk, plotting my next move. The information from Rick, combined with the upcoming report from Mr. Shaw, would paint a damning picture of Mr. Daniels, one that could not only dethrone him but also publicly humiliate him. Later that afternoon, Mr. Shaw emails me his first report. I open it, my fingers trembling slightly. The report details Mr. Daniels' movements over the past week, complete with times, locations, and accompanying individuals. One name stands out among the rest: Angela Meade, a known financial broker with a shady reputation. I pick up the phone and dial Mr. Shaw. I need more on Angela Meade. Anything she and Daniels are involved in together, especially if it's off the books. Understood, Mr. Shaw replies, his voice all business. I'll focus on her for the next few days. With these pieces moving, I take a moment to reflect. The house is quiet, Laura still at work. My mind races with the implications of what I'm about to do. It's not just about exposing a personal betrayal anymore, it's about unraveling a man who has lived above the law for too long. As the evening rolls in, I prepare for the confrontation. I imagine facing Daniels, the shock on his face when he realizes the extent of my knowledge. But first, Laura. She arrives home later than usual, her smile tired. Long day, I ask, keeping my tone neutral. Yes, really long. How about you? Anything interesting happen? Her gaze meets mine, searching for something I'm not willing to give away yet. Just the usual, I reply, my heart heavy. We should talk, though. There's something important. Laura nods, concern flickering across her features. Of course, let's sit down. As we settle into the living room, I know I'm stepping into a battlefield, the lines drawn not just around my marriage, but around a larger war one never anticipated fighting. The evening stretches before us, fraught with revelations that will change everything. The tension in the air is palpable as Laura and I sit facing each other across the cold expanse of our coffee table. She tucks a stray hair behind her ear, a nervous habit I've come to recognize over the years. Tom, what's going on? You've been distant lately, she starts, her voice laced with worry. I take a deep breath, the envelope containing the photos and the incriminating emails about Mr. Daniels in my hand. There's something you need to see, I say, pushing the envelope towards her. Laura opens it slowly, her eyes widening as she absorbs the contents. A moment passes, a silent eternity, before she looks up at me, tears brimming. Tom, I can explain. It's not just about the affair, Laura, my voice is steady, though my heart races. It's about betrayal, deception. Not just by you, but by Mr. Daniels too. He's corrupt, Laura, and he's dragged you into his mess. Laura wipes her eyes, taking a deep breath. I didn't know how to tell you. I started seeing him before I knew what he was involved in. By the time I found out, it was too late. I was too involved. And you thought keeping it a secret was the best option. My tone is more of sadness than anger. I was scared, she admits. But there's more. Daniels isn't just corrupt. He's dangerous, Tom. There are others he's hurt, others he's silenced. I wanted to leave, but I feared what he might do. Her words hit me like a wave. What are you saying, Laura? I have proof, Tom. Proof that can not only end his career but can protect us. And other, she stands, going to our home office before returning with another envelope, thicker than the one I had given her. Inside, there are documents, emails, photos more damning than anything I had collected. Evidence of bribes, threats, and worse. I was going to handle it myself, but I was afraid. I stare at the documents, then at Laura. We need to go to the authorities with this. Together. Laura nods, relief and resolve etched on her face. Together. The following days are a blur. Meetings with lawyers, statements to the police, Mr. Daniel's swift arrest, all public and shockingly quick. The evidence Laura and I provide sparks a larger investigation. Corruption, blackmail, illicit dealings. Daniels had his hands in more than anyone had suspected. As Daniel's trial begins, the media frenzy is relentless. But amidst the chaos, there's a strange sort of peace between Laura and me. Betrayal gave way to a united front against a common enemy, and somehow it starts to mend the fractures in our relationship. One evening, as we watch the sun set from our back porch, Laura turns to me. Tom, if you want to walk away, I'll understand. You didn't sign up for any of this. I ponder her words, the weight of everything we've been through settling around us. No, I say finally, taking her hand. We fought through this storm together. Let's see what peace looks like on the other side. Laura smiles, squeezing my hand. Months later, the gavel falls for the last time on Daniel's case. Convicted on multiple counts, his downfall is as spectacular as his rise had been. And as for Laura and me, we're rebuilding, slower and more carefully this time. But the biggest surprise comes on a crisp autumn morning. A letter arrives from a major publishing house. They want to turn our story into a book and later a movie. It seems our fight for justice has caught the public's imagination in ways we never expected. As I tell Laura, her laughter rings out, bright and hopeful. From the ashes, right. Right, I agree, and we step forward, together into a future neither of us could have predicted.